Welcome to Go Home Heat, a sports entertainment podcast. Woo. I have Justin here in the building with me, and we are talking double E. What was that guy's name? Klaus?
Who?
That guy used to go double E. Big Russian.
Oh,
Kozlov?
Vladimir Kozlov.
Yes.
I liked Vladimir Kozlov.
I don't know what happened to him. He was good.
He was good. Well, they killed that character into the ground, and I don't know what happened, but I liked that dude.
Yeah, he was a big, strong guy. Raw starts out. We're going to go with Raw, then SmackDown. Raw starts out with, Ric Flair, Big Show, Christian, and HBK come out. HBK welcomes you to Raw. First time probably since the last time he was GM, which was probably before he quit with the back surgery.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. I think he was Raw. Okay, anyway. So they were talking maybe 15 years, something like that. Yeah. But he intros the fellas and talks about how they had to get in the way of Randy Orton becoming the champion, and it was all the Nature Boys' plan to interfere in the match, which makes sense since he's the dirtiest player in the game.
Yes.
Drew comes out and tells little stories as to how much he has in common with all of them. He does not seem that displeased that they interfered in his match. He seems like it felt like this was kind of an informal way of anointing Drew on an even level with the other legends.
Yes.
And I think that did work to some degree. Then Orton comes out and invites himself into a Hell in a Cell match. I'll be given another rematch because I'm Randy Orton and I deserve it. And Drew issues an open challenge to anybody he hasn't faced yet. What did you think about the first segment?
Thought there was a lot of talking. Tied up some loose ends.
Yeah, and Sean isn't great at this type of thing. Like, if you watched NXT, he was much better in that environment where he's just kind of talking with the guys. I've never thought he was incredible on the stick. I get why he had to be the one to do the talking.
Yeah.
Because Rick isn't physically imposing and Big Show's... If Sean, Big Show, and Christian are standing there, Sean's probably the one that needs the mic because he's the better, the more highly acclaimed performer.
Christian's the best talker.
Christian probably should have had the mic.
Should have had the mic.
Yeah, right, because he's the best talker of the bunch. But that, but never not put yourself over.
No.
Okay. Byron Saxton, Tom Phillips, and Joe are here. Asuka versus Zelina in a rematch. Because Zelina is a sore loser. Asuka was on her early. Zelina does seem to be a submission specialist. Mm-hmm. Which was interesting to me because I did not know that. Because I haven't seen her wrestle a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, I thought this was really well done. I feel like...
This match was better than the match of the pay-per-view, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like the match at the pay-per-view wasn't bad.
No, it was a good match.
Now, she winds up... Vega goes for a moonsault, and...
Asuka catches her in the Asuka lock out of it.
She hits the knees. Because Asuka has her knees up, and then Asuka puts it into an Asuka lock, which was really a smooth transition.
Slick.
Yeah.
I like these two against each other.
Absolutely, and it's funny because for whatever reason... You know what? There's a website that a podcast I somehow wound up on it with Matt Morgan talking, and you remember Matt Morgan?
Oh yeah.
And he said
Matt Morgan.
He said I've worked with Zelina, I was in TNA when she was there and all. Mm-hmm. And he says if they'll just let her wrestle, you guys are going to understand it. It's going to be. She said she's fantastic. And a lot of people don't realize it because they've had her doing other things. But they said she's one of the best wrestlers they have, and they just haven't used her as a wrestler. And and you can see that already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With just a little bit. And she's got to have some ring rust. And she's already knocking it off and getting, like, that match to the next match was way...
Oh, absolutely. Oh, okay. So we go to Flair, Big Show, and Christian and HBK playing poker, and Flair is beating them.
Probably because he's cheating.
Yeah, I wouldn't play Sean in poker, though. because I feel like he can look at different sets of cards.
I was about to say that. I was about to say, who's he looking at?
Yes. Catering and his cards.
Yes. Can I get a souffle, please?
Okay. Now, Andrade tells Zelina, Andrade walks by Zelina as she's leaving, and he tells her that she's nothing without him. Ishin's an open challenge, and I'm thinking, finally Andrade gets to be Andrade, and Keith Lee comes out, and I go, oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I was saying the same thing.
It winds up being a
squash match.
Yeah.
Which, it's funny the wrestlers they decide to put in squash matches and the ones that they will give 15 minutes to make you beat.
Don't get me started on last night. We're doing this on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I thought you might have something to say about that because I was pissed.
We'll get there, but I do feel like there's an alternate universe where like Andrade and John Morrison are champions of the world.
Oh, yeah. That alternate universe is in any other company.
It's so crazy.
Dude, that's two of the best in the world.
Right. And Andrade doesn't ever get to showcase what he is.
No.
Every now and then, like when he was in NXT and him and Aleister Black were tearing the house apart.
Yes.
And then he goes out there and I like Keith Lee.
I do too.
But why can't Keith Lee be in a hard match?
Yeah.
Why can't Andrade show us how great he is and then lose?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that show resilience, things like that.
Yeah.
Why does Keith Lee have to just mow over everybody but Orton and?
Yeah. And then,
broke my
but
heart.
that makes it so much dumber when he gets in there with Orton, and it's immediately really hard, and then he can't ever get a finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is Randy that much better than the whole rest of the roster?
Yeah, better than guys, and a lot of times too, it'll be better than guys that we've seen Randy lose to, have good matches with, all that stuff, because anyway, the Hurt Business.
3 hours of 3-hour show, buddy. 3-hour show. They can't give me 10 minutes.
7
minutes. I'll take 7.
You know what I mean? Hurt Business is in catering, and random gentleman from admin tries to sit with them at the table, and Bobby lets him know that that's Bobby's seat. Then he tries the other seat, and Bobby says, that's my seat too. Then he tries to leave, and Bobby wants to know why he's stealing his food, when in reality, Bobby is intimidating that man into giving him his dinner.
He wants his fruit cup, Kevin.
That catering that the Hurt Business was getting looked very good.
Yeah, it did.
It looked amazing.
Uh-huh.
Much better than the segment.
Yes.
Which I'm fine with the segment, but again, this was 3 or 4 minutes that I could have had Andrade wrestling.
Mm-hmm. When you could have had that guy come up and say, and Bobby say, that's my seat, that's my seat, that's my seat.
Yeah.
And then the skit's over.
Right.
And I got the point.
Absolutely. But we took the time to...
Family Guy this segment.
Mm-hmm.
I was,
Right. R-Truth's playing chess with little Jimmy. Speaking of things we could have done without, he's upset because Akira Tozawa has passed away due to being eaten by a shark. He gets delivered a note, and he gives his black belt to his Akira gives his black belt to his greatest foe, R-Truth. And then, lo and behold, Tozawa was not eaten by a shark, and he gets the roll-up. Then Gulak, dressed like a ninja, gets a roll-up. And then a second briefcase shot to Akira. And then Truth winds up, I think there's 18 title changes here.
Yeah.
And again, I could have got Andrade wrestling for 7 minutes.
With Keith Lee.
But instead I got 9 title changes here on a 24/7 championship.
On roll-ups.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, absolutely. And why does Gulak, who do he piss off? Why's he got to be in the middle of this crap?
What did he do wrong?
Yeah, he's so good. It's like, oh, man. He's probably happy to be on TV, but man. Seth meets up with Murph on this beautiful night. The King's Court. The Mysterio family will be there. Seth sends the reluctant Murphy off to get a suit that Seth purchased. Seth's a good guy.
Yeah.
He got Murphy a suit that he looks good in. Go put your suit on. This is a big night.
Mm-hmm.
Murphy, being Murphy, forgot his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Seth steals it.
And somehow accesses it.
and manages to get it ready for the next segment in like a minute and a half.
Man, the man is a master of audio visuals.
I'm thinking that Becky is his oracle.
Yes.
From comic book world.
Yes. He's got to have some sort of computer overwatch.
Yes. Yes. It's Becky Lynch. At home, pregnant, computer overwatching.
Hacking Murph's phone.
Yes. Dominic said it's on site when he sees Murphy.
Well, you didn't tell him what Seth revealed was on the phone. Have we gotten to that yet?
I don't think so. I think they get to then they get to the king in the court, and the king asks the tough questions, blah, blah, blah. How does Elia feel about Rey Mysterio not trusting his daughter? Which was, he could ask a couple other questions, but why not go right there?
Yeah, right for the jugular.
Yeah, and Elia calls Seth a bad person and a fraud. But that's when Seth interjects. But Murphy's not like all of them. She points that out. And that's when Seth interjects and lets us know that she's been texting Murphy. Murphy, that sly dog.
Sliding up in the DMs. I don't know what that means.
They're not even DMs. They're texts. But
so.
Okay. And Elia runs off mad. Oh, no. Seth doesn't understand why Murphy is upset about him stealing his phone and putting his private messages on national television at 8:30 at night.
Yes. I love. When these two go at it, it's going to be great. But it'll probably be over in like 3 minutes.
2 seconds later, Seth points out that honesty matters.
Yeah, it does.
Murphy. Honesty matters.
Truth is important.
After I've stolen your phone. And
somehow accessed it.
And without your permission, put it on a television set. Okay. And that's when Dom jumps Murphy, not Seth, meanwhile.
Yeah.
And Seth backs up and watches it, which I did like that. And Seth was like, well, this is your problem now.
No,
all I did was inserted you into some issues. It seems like
threw the match out there.
And to my knowledge, I haven't seen anything that implies that Murphy is flirting with her other than just she checked on him and he was like, yes, Seth's being a jerk to you. I'm really sorry. And then he checked on her. We have not seen anything that implies romance. And yet Dom does not attack Seth, who
has put his dad's eye out?
Yes. He's attacking the dude that apologized.
Wrestling logic.
Well,
admittedly, though, in real life, probably the one that the brother goes after is the one he thinks is trying to go after his sister.
Correct, because Dad can probably handle himself.
Yeah.
Even one-eyed Dad.
One-eyed Dad. That's terrible.
Yes, it is. It is. What's terrible is, dude, if they're going to keep Seth doing this, they need its own little quick intro and do like a General Hospital intro before.
The Mysterios.
Yes. And then right when they get to the evil part of the music, Seth.
Yes, dude.
Seth's picture comes up and then they finish out with Murphy looking.
Seth Rollins even sounds like somebody that'd be on a soap opera.
It totally sounds more like a soap opera than a wrestling name.
Yeah, it does. It sounds Seth Rollins, the evil twin brother, dun dun dun,
of Tyler Black.
Yes.
Which is also a soap opera name.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to do a little soap opera fantasy booking here. We've decided that they missed the boat here. If we're going to do this, we got to go outbid AEW for Vicky Guerrero and bring her into this storyline. $15 for Vicky and a t-shirt contract.
Yes.
And Vicky can be Seth's pseudo manager, but also be the cougar chasing Murphy. And
she and Aaliyah get in a fight
over Murphy. When Aaliyah doesn't want anything really to do with Murphy other than be his friend.
Yes.
But Vicky can't see that.
No.
So when they're talking, she can walk up with the "excuse me" line. And then they can get into it. And then they can all turn around and she can say she never liked Dominic anyway because of Eddie's ungrateful cheating. That's how he was born in the first place.
Yeah. Slap Ray's wife. Slap Dominic's mom in the face.
Dude, and
I know what you did.
You can get an As the WWE Turns t-shirt with Vicky, Seth, Murphy, Aaliyah, and Dom's pictures on all of them. And on the back, like Mysterio looking downtrodden. Mm-hmm. So good.
This is magic.
Okay. Natty and Lana, speaking of magic.
Oh, jeez.
Versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke in a 15-minute banger match of the year candidate.
Who's this worst for?
Well,
is it Natalya?
What do you mean?
Like, who is this whole...
Oh, I thought you were saying who's the worst of the four. But
no, who is this worst for?
Yeah, Natty. It's a weird thing for her to be. Now, I guess they're going to come with Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke as a tag team.
Riveting.
Yes. But this match, the funny thing about Natty and Lana being in a tag team is it feels like Lana's the one they have wrestling the most.
Of course. That's what you do. You take the one that talks best and you make them wrestle, and then the one that wrestles best and you make them talk.
Nobody be looking for that.
No, subvert their expectations.
Okay, so that ended with Mandy Rose and winning on a knee. She tried to go with the knee to Lana's chest, right? And she tried to go to Lana's chin, and she hit her like in the sternum with her thigh. I was like, oh, that didn't go well. Because it was funny because I'm watching and I'm like, well, Lana's doing pretty good right here. And then I was like, this isn't too bad. And then the finish comes and it's like, oh, wow.
Wow.
Maybe you should like kick out on that one and do it again.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead. Why not?
Why not?
At least get it right.
Yeah.
Aleister Black believes Kevin Owens is at fault for Seth and Murphy taking his eye out. There's a logic thread going through the show. The family is cruelty. This is so... I don't even... Did Kevin Owens tell his child about his transgressions? I mean, they were on TV.
Yeah, you have to tell him. He watches
the show. He watches the show, he knows Kevin was a bad guy there for 2/3 of his career.
Yeah.
This is so... I don't get it. I don't understand what we're doing here. And then Aleister Black...
They don't know what they're doing.
Then Aleister Black wrestles Kevin Owens, and it's really great. The build-up was dumb, but the match was great until the end.
And then they have a DQ finish.
Right, because we're not done with it yet.
And we get Black blindsided with a stunner when he should have freaking killed the guy. You know.
Right. This is...
And he came out to new music.
Yes. But my thing is, though, they gave us... Kevin Owens and Aleister Black gave us fantastic wrestling. Yeah, they did. And then they wonk it up.
It's not them. You know it's not them. It's like the only part of this
by they, I meant WWE.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The only part of this that the two performers were responsible for was the excellent wrestling.
Correct.
Everything else was...
And you have two great talkers.
Yeah.
You could have just said, y'all come up with what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, you need to talk about your eye.
Yeah.
And tie Buddy Murphy and Tyler and Seth Rollins into this feud that Kevin Owens ain't got nothing to do with them. He hates them.
Yeah, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, 24/7 match. Truth, Akira, and Gulak. This would be... Truth is going for his 109th 24/7 title in the last few months.
Yes.
Amazing. Truth wins in what... To be honest, that's a lot of wrestling talent.
It is. If they would let them wrestle.
It was okay. The match was, but it just... This show... It's something, boy. Oh, he finished with the attitude adjustment, by the way, which was R2's childhood idol.
Yeah, childhood idol, John Cena's finishing move. That's where he learned it from.
Yes.
When he was a little kid watching John Cena do it.
Mandy and Dana Brooke are going for those tag team titles. So if you want that women's tag team division to get fired up and better...
Yeah, that's the one you bring in.
They just threw in the Brain Busters.
Yes.
The equivalent of the Brain Busters.
Yes.
Tarn and Ully into this division right there. Bam.
Did you see the speaking of the tag team champions, did you see what... I got to give credit where credit is due. Nia Jax was kind of funny on Twitter. Did you see where they
said? No, what'd you say?
They were talking about, they weren't medical cleared. That's why they weren't at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because I guess they were around NXT people who had the COVID or something.
Yeah.
And she put on Twitter, she's like, when the medical thing there, she put up, lies. The truth is, my partner's expecting. Shayna Baszler said, I sound like I'm expecting to die of sorrow from these Vikings or something, like the Vikings had just lost or something like that.
Right. Nia Jax is funny, man.
Yeah, if she can quit
hurting people. I really like her as a wrestler.
She should be in the Hurt Business. She'd be the most legit member of the Hurt Business.
Then it's a shoot.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, both of them. Mm-hmm. That would be good.
Yeah. Dom versus Murphy is up next. Stop me if you heard that before. This match is really good. Again, these guys can wrestle.
Well,
man, is Murphy a great worker.
One guy can wrestle, and the other can be where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there.
Dude, when Murphy accidentally pulled up the apron, were you wondering while that was going on what? Because you could see he had his hand caught in the apron, and I was like, okay, well, I wonder what's going. Smooth though, the way they exposed the kendo stick to tease Dom and to grabbing the kendo stick, because of course, even though this is in no way a DQ match, we left a kendo stick under the ring.
Yeah, that just happened.
Dude, who is the guy that puts up the rings? Like, which one of those devious ring guys
is always leaving weapons under there?
Right. And was his father the guy who left the sledgehammer there for Hunter?
Probably. Or the barbed wire bat.
Does it come down from generation to generation?
Yeah. Is it like Hornswoggle's job? Like to stash the weapons? Like, is that the wrestling leprechaun job? Is there a new one under there?
Would it be a shillelagh or something?
Well, you would think, but, you know.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know where Hornswoggle's from. I assume, like, Panama City or something.
Okay, and so then he does pick up the kendo stick and goes for Murph, and Alea gets in the way of all of that, and Murphy gets the roll-up win. Dom lets her know that she is naive, and that's when we get the 5 fingers to the face.
Well, bang!
And she storms off, and yes, you may not like this segment, but Samoa Joe loved it.
Every minute of it.
He did. He was having a good time over there laughing at that stuff.
Dude, he kills it, man. He makes the show, for me, watchable.
Right.
His commentary makes it watchable all the time.
Then we wind up with Mustafa, I guess, somehow accidentally went into the Hurt Business's room, even though there was like a thing on the door that said Hurt Business.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the Hurt Business took
offense.
Exception to that, and then we wind up with a 6-man tag: Mustafa, Ricochet, Apollo versus Lashley, MVP, and Shelton.
Where is Cedric Alexander?
I don't know.
Didn't we just do this whole big thing where he joined the Hurt Business?
He was absent for some reason.
Maybe he's
I don't know.
Quarantined?
Maybe he could have pulled an ankle. Who knows? Yeah. But we'll assume everybody that's not on the show has COVID. Yes. That's the best thing to do. Because I'm pretty sure that's what the wrestling sheets do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not there, COVID.
Yes. Okay, and so anyway, Ali winds up getting the pin here, and I think that's good because I think these guys, Mustafa, Ricochet, and Apollo, need some wins.
Well, dude, you gotta make them threatening at some point.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The Hurt Business wound up taking the L. Dolph Ziggler has an idea,
which I don't necessarily like either.
No, I get it.
No,
I didn't mind it when they took an L and then they turned around and went to the underground and wreaked havoc. Mm-hmm. But there was no way for them to kind of get their heat back after this one. But there's the next week. You know, everything that in 1 week. But anyway, so Dolph has come up with an idea to tell Adam Pearce about who should challenge Drew. Back to the poker segment. Flair's still winning all the money. Bianca Belair segment where we showcase. Dude, this was great. They're giving her the Mr. Perfect stuff. Mm-hmm. She runs the hurdles and like outruns. Oh no! First she outruns him in 100. Mm-hmm. Then she gives him like a 20-yard head start and outruns him in 100. Then she outruns the dude after giving him a head start, and she's hurdling. Right? And I just like this because I'd rather see her wrestle, but I like her getting the Mr. Perfect treatment.
Yes!
Because she's a physical freak. Probably Kurt Hennig was a great character and a great pro wrestler, but in the whole realm of athletes, I would think that the difference between Bianca Belair and other athletes in the company is kind of similar to what...
steep.
Yes.
There's a couple of them who can hang with her, but not Shayna Baszler maybe. Right. But still, athletically, I think Belair is probably...
Oh, yes. She set all the records at the they have a day where they do workouts, combine. They have a combine day at NXT. And she set all the records.
I wouldn't... Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode. We did get a Retribution package in there. We won't go through it too much. I thought Bobby Roode looked great here. Mm-hmm. I thought the match was great. I hate to say this because I'm not a huge Drew McIntyre guy. His championship run has involved... He has not had a bad match.
Nope.
He's had very good, even with Keith Lee, Orton, Seth, whoever. Every match he's been in except for the kind of squashish match with Brock.
Yeah.
Has been great.
But I didn't mind that match because it was almost the full circle match of Brock has done this to so many people. Finally somebody steps up and you catch him slipping right off the bat.
Right. It's that rare moment when you're able to script something that Brock was going to choose to do anyway because he didn't want to be there very long.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you're going to beat me in 3 minutes. What?
I got a plane schedule.
I got a plane to catch. And I got no shame because everybody knows that if I really wanted you, you're dead. So I don't care.
So you can squash me right here.
Yeah.
And then they were like, that's great. It'll fit the character.
Yeah.
Okay, Orton is now in full character mode.
He's gone full
6'5"
Buffalo Bill.
Adonis-looking janitor.
With night vision goggles.
Night vision goggles because he turns out the lights on the legends and leaves them laying, which was a wonderful way to end the show and a great way to protect the older Ric Flair, who cannot really take a chair shot.
No, but he can fall over.
How did Shawn wind up strewn across 4 chairs that weren't connected to each other? Did you notice that?
That was weird.
He had one leg on top of one chair, one leg, and the other leg hanging off of that whole thing.
Be like, they probably were like, Sean, show us the way you've actually woken up in the morning one time. One time I woke up on 4 chairs.
Well, I would think that was Shawn's way of saying, and nothing against Shawn. You know, I'm a huge Shawn Michaels mark, but that was Shawn's way of letting you know that I didn't get beat here either.
Yeah.
I'm even going to no-sell the lights out segment.
Yeah, I'm going to
Not only did I no-sell...
That's the equivalent of him taking the stunner and doing like a backflip.
Right, or when Randy hit him with the RKO and then he manages to crawl to his feet a couple seconds later.
Uh-huh.
Just letting you know.
Just letting you know.
I'm still not putting Randy Orton over.
No.
I didn't sell his stuff on a Monday night. Then I got to super kick him on top of an ambulance and push him off the ambulance.
Yes.
I'm still not returning the favor.
Nope.
This is about me.
Yeah. Well, Randy needs somebody in his life who does not care about Randy.
Yes.
It's a good thing for Randy to have. It's a good thing for somebody to be around Randy who always says no.
Yeah. And plus, Shawn probably like backstage, it's probably like, Road Dogg and Triple H like, man, that Randy Orton, he sure is good. And Shawn's sitting there going, he ain't good.
Yeah.
He's not even, come on, man.
Come on.
I can't even hardly watch that guy work. Even though Randy's a shiznit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, interesting thing here, and I think it has everything to do with the fact that there was a reported COVID outbreak in the WWE talent. You did not have an underground segment. So I feel like when you have people that can't be there due to COVID, filling a basement with 30 people, no mask, screaming and hollering doesn't make sense.
Nope.
In any way. Retribution.
Also,
I would think that when they do attack the ring with 10 or 11 people.
Well, they're all NXT, and they've
right.
And then
who
those
knows
people
which
are,
one of those people? Even
Yeah.
if the 5 main characters don't have anything, you can't take that chance with
No,
20 other guys. So I get it, but it just I missed Underground a little bit this week.
Oh yeah, it was great little. I like Underground. I'm not against it.
Underground's a little bit better than a lot of the rest of Raw.
Oh my god, dude! Let's be honest. This stuff was disjointed.
It was a strange episode.
The whole man. It seems like they're almost stuck in suspended animation. Like they will not advance stuff.
You know what it is now, though? They got through with the 2 pay-per-views in 2 weeks or whatever. 2 weeks from now, they got a draft, and they don't know. Like I think they're treading water till the draft.
I think they've been treading water for like 3 or 4 months.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, as my man says, we're getting to the good stuff. SmackDown. Roman at the ring does not want Paul to call him the tribal chief because Jay wouldn't call me the tribal chief. Only Jimmy did it. And Roman asked for Jay to come out, and it's the Usos music, and Jay comes out and says, I don't know you. If Jimmy didn't throw in that towel, I would have won, which is a really big stretch of what was going on there.
Yes.
He was almost unconscious.
Yeah.
Couldn't have brought himself to his feet.
No.
But if he could have just laid there and got hit a little bit more,
he was going to win that match.
He might have pulled that thing out.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get a roll up from unconscious face down.
Yeah.
He was working on it.
It was all sucker's play.
Yeah, like if Roman had put him in a reverse Boston Crab, then he could have flipped him into a reverse Canadian Destroyer.
I think that is magic, and that's definitely what they were moving towards.
Yes, they could have done it. It would have been on AEW though.
Oh yeah, or NXT.
Yes. Okay, Clash of Champions was the worst night of my life. Roman says. Do you think I enjoyed that? I hated every minute of bludgeoning you, my friend. I love you more than your brother loves you. Day 1, Oos. I was trying to raise you up. All you had to do was acknowledge me. This is my birthright, but you've been here all along. You know I worked my ass off for this. You embarrassed me and you broke my heart. You can't even look at me. You're looking at this. And he shakes the title. And he says, if you want this so bad, you can have it at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I like that. He just said, you want another match? You want another shot? Got another shot.
Right. But this match will have the highest consequences in history. And then he leans in and whispers while conveniently holding the mic right behind Jay's ear that he's whispering into. If I was you, I wouldn't take this match. I love you, brother. And then he walks off. I thought this was so good.
Best Roman Reigns ever. Dude, he's
Yes.
Didn't know he had it in him, man. This is awesome. It's great stuff.
Yeah, and what's the step?
I'm thinking it's gonna be a step that he has to be Roman's like disciple, whatever.
It ain't gonna just be you have to acknowledge me. It's gonna be you acknowledge me and we're gonna I would guess you acknowledge me and then we go into Bloodline.
With me as the boss.
Yeah, right. And you and your brother both have to follow me.
Are the flunkies.
Right.
You do what I say.
That makes sense, right?
I like it.
Yeah. And Jay's gonna get to die for our pleasure. Because he's gonna take a beating at Hell in a Cell.
Oh, dude. I think it'll be a little more of a match, but no.
Well, with the beautiful thing about a cell is Roman can accidentally hit his head on this, accidentally hit his head on that. You know, there's different ways to turn it into Roman hurt himself, which opens up a window for Jay. But the problem is going to be also Roman can throw Jay like a dart.
Yes.
Into that chain link fence over and over
again.
And you know, Jay will dive into it too.
Yeah.
You know, he don't care.
No.
He's a good worker too. Speaking of him being a good worker, AJ Styles
comes out here to make
the luau over. Who cares who sits at the head of the table? Who cares who gets the most chicken? You know, who cares what's going on here? And then he wants a match, and he gets one. And he told Jay that he was the run of the litter.
Yeah. You runt?
Dude, it was so good. And then Jay immediately jumps him. They have a great match, and Jay gets a win over probably the best legitimate worker in the whole world. And it doesn't hurt AJ one bit.
Nope.
Because everybody knows who AJ is.
Yeah.
AJ goes out there and makes Jay look great in a singles match.
Putting him over to make you think for a second, oh man, maybe they're going to give Jay a shot here. No.
Well, if nothing else, we've legitimized this main event.
As a singles competitor.
Correct. And perfectly done.
That's how you do it.
We're 40 minutes into this show, and it's been perfect. And then it gets better. Sami Zayn says it's my fault as a fan.
It's your fault, personally.
Because, yes, well,
you
all
endorsed
of us,
the false champion, the false prophet.
Correct. We gave legitimacy to a man who wasn't a legitimate champion. The WWE stripped him of a title they shouldn't have stripped him of. They had a match for it, and then we all decided that was okay when we could have pushed back.
Yes.
And I appreciate Jay for pointing this out to me. Because I feel like it's, Sammy. Because I feel like a traitor.
Yeah, now I know my wrongs.
Yes. And then he throws the trash can in the trash can in the title. He throws the title in the trash can, which was great.
Yeah, classic.
Oh man, and then it gets even better.
Who was it? Oh, dude, who threw the championship in the trash can?
Medusa.
No, in boxing.
Oh, I forget that one.
Was it Buster Douglas? Wasn't Buster Douglas.
Couldn't have been Buster Douglas.
No.
He went straight to the buffet table after he beat Tyson.
Yeah.
Like the next time he fought, he was so overweight and out of shape. He fought Holyfield, and I thought, oh man, this is going to be great. And it wasn't. No, he literally was very happy he won.
Yeah.
I think that, dude, I think he's okay now, but then for a while he was rolling around like 350 pounds.
Oof. Yeah, but you remember the boxer I'm talking about throwing the championship.
I can't remember it right now.
The trash can, yeah. But it was good callbacks.
Yeah. Well, for Medusa too, when she dumped the women's title on
dumped her career.
Dude, she was somewhere AEW making fun of WWE and all that, and it's like, dude, why are you still holding a grudge? You're the one that threw their title away.
Yeah.
They even put you in the Hall of Fame in spite of the fact that you threw of all the people that should be holding a grudge, probably not you.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of women out there that were I don't remember. Maybe my memory's wrong. I don't remember her having to be in bra and panties matches and stuff like that.
No, I don't think so.
Like, if Tori Wilson was like, I hate the WWE, I'd be like, okay, well, I get it. Sense. They put you in your underwear
Trish Stratus
every week.
If Trish Stratus turned on and said, these guys were a bunch of predators and pervs and I had to put up with that.
I had to kiss Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Like multiple times.
Yes.
On television.
Or Lita.
Yeah.
Who had her underwear brought out, or supposed underwear brought out several times at different,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But or even Kelly, whatever. But Medusa, come on, cheer up, buddy. Okay, so then it gets even better. Otis and the Miz stuff. We get a little showcase of that, and then we get a fantastic Morrison versus Otis match.
I mean, you've got two styles clash kind of matches where you got the big guy who's such a talented athlete, and John Morrison, who's one of the freaks of nature. I mean, how could this not turn into
90 seconds later?
What?
John Morrison, probably the most talented wrestler of his generation, maybe any generation. Pure in-ring ability.
Yes.
Could be right there with anybody that's ever blinked.
Any argument you want to make.
Right. And yet, 90 seconds later.
Yep.
Otis pinning him.
Mm-hmm.
After doing a worm.
Mm-hmm.
Caterpillar.
Yes. That happened. You were doing so good, SmackDown, and then you did that.
Yes.
And then you followed it up. The next match is about the same level.
Big E wants a false count anywhere match. Great. Sheamus versus Shorty G. Wham! Bro kick over. Okay.
That's an Olympic wrestler, Kevin.
Yes. 90 seconds later. Boom. Okay. Now, Kevin Owens show. Interview with Alexa. Okay, now we're back on track. KO sees the anger in her. You're not the girl that tried to make everybody happy in NXT anymore. Alexa doesn't know what he means, but she does say, people change, and don't you want to be better? And Kevin Owens says he's trying to be better. And at this point, when she says people change, we should have had the Deftones in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I saw a change. Because that's where we're going with this thing. KO's trying to understand what's going on with Aleister Black, and she jumps straight to talking about the Fiend here. Her eyes go distant. Have you ever been around him? He's captivating and terrifying at the same time. Your spine gets cold. Your body goes numb. You feel like you're on pins and needles. He's looking through you and you cannot look away from him. KO says that she's brainwashed, and she says yes, she is brainwashed because the lies have been washed away from her and all she sees is truth. My brain has been cleansed. So when Kevin Owens realized that he may be in trouble at this point, and he says he's here, isn't he? Throws the chair around and he looks for him. Lights go out.
Wait, no, you missed.
Go ahead.
Her little part. He's everywhere, Kevin.
Oh, you're right.
Let him in.
Yes.
That was great. Dude.
Oh my God.
I don't care if it's cheesy. I don't care. I loved every second of it.
It's so much less cheesy than like 9 out of 10 horror movies.
Yes.
Oh. Anyway, so Fiend shows up, chokes KO out. We know who one of our draft picks to SmackDown will probably be, because Kevin Owens is probably about to go into a program with the Fiend after this. And I loved it. Then to top it off, the Fiend looks at her, holds out his hand in somewhat of a romantic manner in a way, and she places her hand like a princess into it, and we have got ourselves a little faction thing.
Yeah, or a harbinger.
Yeah.
Almost like Scarlet is for Karrion Kross.
Right. Perfect.
You know?
Yeah, you liked it.
I do. I like the whole concept.
Yeah.
And I like, as long as they leave it in Bray's hands to do the creative parts
this totally
of it.
feels like Bray Wyatt wrote.
Yeah. It'll be over the top, but it'll be good over the top.
And Alexa can act a little bit.
A little bit.
She's pretty good at all this. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, too? Kevin Owens on a show that has this he can get into, and if he stays a babyface to some degree, has Roman on too, he can get into that as well, because he's always kind of been the, even when he's not necessarily a babyface, he's always been kind of the spokesman for this is a crock of crap that's going on here. It's a Roman trying to be king of the world. Yeah. He can totally go crock of crap on that. Yeah. You know, so I love it if they get Kevin on the show. As long as Kevin's healthy, he's one of the best there is.
You can't beat him, man.
If you want to include, I can talk, I can give you a promo, I can give you an argument, I can give you sarcasm, I can be the guy who runs a show and gives you a legitimate interview, or I can be a show that sets up something else. He can do all those things better than anybody. Yeah. Plus he can wrestle like a freaking ninja bullfrog. Yeah. Ninja bullfrog is great. 6-man tag match. Corbin, Cesaro, Shinsuke versus Lindsay El Dorado, Grand Metalik, Matt Riddle. They talk about how Kalisto can't fit his mask on his head because his head's gotten too big. Yes. And now Matt Riddle did talk about how he was down in the dumps, and the Lucha Brothers showed him the light. And they were going to, how did he say it? Lindsay El Dorado said something that he mixed being a luchador and being high kind of together in a sentence. What did he say there?
Smoking or something. It was there was smoke or something involved in it. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But yeah. It was
a neat little implication that we'll go get high after this is over. Yes. And Matt Riddle seemed like that was a great idea to him, bro. Yeah. The match itself it should have been better with that much talent.
But it's 6 people, man. There's a lot of moving parts you got to have.
You got to give them 15 minutes if you want that to be what it could be. So it was okay for what it was.
Kalisto ends up accidentally kicking Lindsay El Dorado, and then
Matt Riddle gets the win though anyway.
Yeah, because it ends up Kalisto? They get into it outside, and then Cesaro's paying attention to that and gets hit.
And then gets the Bro Derek on him, and it's over. Bro Derek, great name for a move. Yes. Especially when he's got his hair in braids.
Yeah, he did. He was perfect tonight.
But, remember 10? Yeah. If you're old enough, just Google Bo Derek running on a beach. Yeah. Like when
it'll change your life.
Well, just for our age, there was the Farrah Fawcett poster on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I'm a little older than you, so
yeah.
maybe it wasn't your age. And then there was Bo Derek running down the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And Dudley Moore was the love interest in that.
Yeah, there's a true story.
Dudley Moore.
Yeah.
Leading man.
Arthur.
But at least that was a comedy.
Yes.
I guess 10 was supposed to be a comedy, but kind of failed at the comedy aspect. I believe the only redeeming quality of 10 was Bo Derek.
I think so.
Okay.
I think that was the only one.
Now, Carmella is the new girl. Who knew?
Who knew?
Oh, I knew.
Everybody.
Right away, because she's built just like Carmella. But anyway, Carmella will not be a nice girl anymore. This will be the first time you've seen her as a... No.
Wait, no.
This is the first time you've seen her as a conceited heel.
No.
Carmella is going to be a heel again.
Yes.
She will not dance for me any longer. I didn't know she danced for me.
I didn't know.
I thought she was dancing with R-Truth.
Yeah.
I thought she liked it. But
yeah.
Do your thing, girl.
Do whatever you gotta do. I don't know how you're gonna wrestle in that get up, but
correct. If she doesn't lose the heels, it's going to be a tough career. And I do think Prince could have wrestled in heels.
Prince could wrestle in heels.
I think he's more coordinated than Carmella.
Yes. Well,
okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Prince could wrestle in heels while playing the guitar.
Correct. If you gave him some drumsticks, he'd be the world champ.
Yes.
And a blouse. Yes. Okay. Now, Sasha promo, and basically she's going to beat that BITCH''S's BOODY.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I thought I had made it through a wrestling show without somebody using the term bitch.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't.
Just so you know, I don't know if you know this, but I watch a lot of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's New Japan,
mm-hmm.
I do not watch a wrestling show that doesn't have somebody shooting a bird, implying they shot a bird,
mm-hmm.
or saying bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with all of that. It's just, if those two things don't happen in my wrestling show, I know for a fact I'm getting a too sweet.
Yes. Or the fact that you don't speak Japanese and you don't know what they're yelling at each other.
Of course they're saying bitch.
Yes.
Somewhere in there. And I feel like female dogs are getting a bad rap on this. Because I feel like female dogs are cool.
Yeah, they work hard.
You know what I mean?
Raise puppies.
It's not fair. Okay, and to your main event of the evening, Jeff Hardy versus Sami Zayn. Humanology versus the Great Liberator. Sammy uncovers the turnbuckle early on, and it becomes a part of the match. And they do. Sammy's great.
Oh God.
And he is able, and Jeff is able. Jeff gets it. And they were able to have a great wrestling match while alluding to what was going to be the finisher the entire time. You just didn't know if it was going to cost Sammy or help him.
Yeah, and it was so well done. The last little sequence was extremely well done. The whole match was well paced.
Twice in that show too. Once earlier, AJ was going to do a springboard onto Uso onto Jay. And the spot was Jay kicks his ankle. Mm-hmm. Now, do you know the level? They don't wrestle each other. Mm-hmm. AJ hadn't wrestled Jay. The level of trust AJ had to say, yeah, just kick my ankle and I'll fall onto the thing.
I'll fall into
You know how badly that can go?
Oh, dude.
Jay barely touched his ankle.
Uh-huh.
You know, even with a super kick, and it looked good and it sounded good because he slapped the thigh. Barely touched it, though. And he's able to fall perfectly waist first, which hurts but doesn't kill you.
Yeah, it doesn't accidentally.
Jeff is straddling a metal piece that's holding the two sides of the ring together. And Sammy's got to mess with him in order for him to fall. A lot of trust there, too.
Lots.
Although Jeff can just fall and not hurt himself.
Yeah.
It's weird how he's like a cat.
Yeah.
I mean, don't remember, he uses his hip or whatever to land on, but he's able to land in a way that of ways to land, that was the best one.
That was the best way, and it could have been a lot worse.
Right.
The first two bounces look like he's going to end up like tent spiking his head in, and then somehow he pulls it out in the third bounce, and he lands it and doesn't kill himself.
It's the craziest thing to watch that guy work. Mm-hmm. And even still, like, he's not the fluid athlete he once was. You know, the knees don't straighten out all the way, things like that. But man, he does it perfectly. He lands, boom, hits his head on the thing, snake eyes himself basically, and falls over. Sammy gets the cover, perfectly done,
executed to perfection.
Great show.
Great show. A little bit of a. The only complaint is the 2 squash matches in the middle of it.
Yeah, but dude, comparatively speaking, wonderful show.
Wonderful show.
All right, well, okay, for Justin, for me, KP, this has been a Go Home Heat production, copyright 2020. Go home.